In today's video, we'll be going over the 15.7 patch on what is worth getting. We have the start of the Holiday Convoy event where you're able to get ships like the Orange, as you can see here, for free. There's a lot of other ships as well, like the New Jersey that we're talking about as well. We have the early introduction of the Pan American destroyers, as well as the introduction of the legendary bonuses. We have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles event coming in, as well as the new legendary Spanish Commander, as well as talking about the new anti-air NCV rework. There's a lot to discuss, so let's get started. First, let's talk about the Battle Pass. So we have the new Battle Pass for the early access event for the Pan America Destroyers. As you can see here, you're able to get the tier 5 through this. You have the tier 10 point commander for the Pan Americans. There's also the Drua here as well. And then down here, you have the tier 7 as well, and a really cool camo as well, and tons of steel and coal as well. Now, when I recommend this, you can get this for 2,500 doubloons. Now, if you already have the Jura, you do get credit compensation instead. So if you don't want the extra bonuses down here or the ship, then you don't have to get it. But if you want the extra steel and coal, then I would definitely recommend it for sure. So, yep, highly recommend it. Moving on from the Battle Pass, let's talk about the Holiday Convoy event. Now, the Holiday Convoy event is starting as of today, and it'll be going all the way until February. So you have a very long time to do this. You can earn these convoy tokens until February 1st, and you can spend your tokens until February 10th. Now, you can do this, you can earn these tokens for free by playing daily and keeping the convoy going. Now, these tokens you can earn up to 1,200 per day and up to 207,600 off of them, but just by playing the game. Now, you are able to convert coal, steel, and research bureau points into Holiday Convoy tokens as well. There is a limit on coal. You can do 650,000 coal in total, which allows you to do 195,000 Holiday Convoy tokens. There are a lot of ships to go over, so I'll be going over those as well. And you're also able to take those tokens and get doubloons instead. And you're able to do 3,000 per patch, up to 18,000 in total. Any of these tokens you don't spend, you'll get 500 credits for instead. So let's go over the ships that you're going to be able to get. Now, the New Jersey, Tokaza, Travail, and the Rodina. These ships are going to be available in 111 days, or they'll be able to get in patch 15.11, which will be in November. Now, if you want me to talk about these ships, I can. I'll since I know their stats, I can talk about them. The Rodina, we don't have any information on the stats wise, but overall, I'm definitely going to say that the New Jersey is definitely going to be a must if you're a battleship player. The fact that it has support consumables is going to make it really fun to play as of now. The stats may change over time, but as of now, it looks really good with a very strong F key that makes its AP salvos very strong. The Tokazaza is essentially a battleship Yoshino. So it's going to be played almost essentially the same. So if you like playing Yoshino, but you want a battleship version with more guns, then Tokaza is going to be for you. Now, the Travail is if you've ever played Le Havre or you've seen like a secondary Marseille, it's essentially you put the Le Havre gimmick and the Marseille gimmick put together, and that's what the Travail is. It has 12 guns, very strong secondaries with a very fast speed, as well as having an F key that makes the secondary stronger as well. So if you are looking for like a speedy French brawler, then this will be definitely for the ship for you. It'd be a lot of fun as well. Now, moving on from here, you're able to get the Rodina as well. We don't know any stats on this ship where people are taking guesses of what it is. From the stats wise, no, sorry, not stats. There are no stats currently, but from what it looks like, it's going to be more of a mid to long range battleship. It doesn't have really much secondaries on it at all, so I can't really give too much information on this at this time. Now, the Bismarck 41, I'd recommend it for PvP and PvE. Very strong secondaries. Good in ranked, randoms, brawls, you name it, it does really well in. So I definitely recommend it for that. Now, the Messina, it's also a lot of fun as well for tier 9. You have that exhaust smoke, good guns. It's a little bit more higher skill level to play it. So if you're looking for like an easier ship to play, then I don't think the Messina will be for you. Now, the Hmong, I would definitely recommend for PvE. This is better than the Palmern for PvE like operations. It is god tier. It is extremely tanky, very good heal for operations as well. as well as having a torpedo protection consumable that makes it where you take less torpedo damage by 70% from aerial and regular torpedoes. So you're and the secondary and you're able to show, and the reason why I say for PvE is because the secondary DPM is really high, but you have to show a lot of broadside to get that DPM off, and the secondaries are more accurate than Pommers. So in PvE it does really well, but in PvP people are going to citadel you, so you have to be careful of that. But overall, I would definitely recommend the amount for PvE. Now, the orange is really, really good. If you've ever wanted to play the Dutch ships but wanted more gun focused, this is the ship for you. It has a 30-second fire duration on it, so it doesn't take as much fire damage. It's definitely more open water. Amazing guns. Airstrikes are longer reloads, so it's definitely more gun focused. So you can do HE and AP as well with the ship. It's really, really good. It's one of the top ships currently right now. The orange you can do well in PvE and PvP, by the way. It goes good in both. Now, the Hoffman is really good as well. The Hoffman has fast loading torpedoes with okayish range. They're not bad, but they're good range. It essentially has Elbing guns, but instead of it being with improved ricochet angles, this is regular AP. But the AP does have a lot of pen, so you can do a lot of citadel damage to cruisers, and you can do a lot of pen damage overall. HE is also really good damage as well, and it has a 6-kilometer Hydra, which makes it extremely strong. It has 2 forward-facing guns and 1 at the rear. So it's really good at cap contesting and pushing out other destroyers. So I definitely recommend it in PvP. PvE, it can do okay since it does have smoke. So if you want to do that one, then sure. Now the Independencia, I would recommend it if you are a CV enjoyer. It has one of the highest DPMs out of the CVs for tier 10. It essentially has 1 special squadron and 1 regular attack fighters, and then it has 1 other regular squadron attack fighters, and then it has essentially FDR torpedoes that don't have a cooldown. So you can hit someone back to back with these, and they do a lot of damage. Oh yeah, a lot of damage. Now the Kitakami is in this event as well. This ship is I would recommend it only for like a ship collector. This thing is so expensive that essentially you're just getting this thing to keep in your port as a port queen. It is definitely way harder to play than all the rest of the ships, so I wouldn't recommend it. It's more of just like you're just keeping it just because, like, not keeping it. You want it to be able to just have as like a showcase overall for Kitakami. Now the doubloons here you can get them as of right now too for each patch, as you can see here. 3,000 per patch for 9,000 tokens. So if you want extra doubloons, then sure. There's also a New Year event coming up, 15.7 as well, where you get a free tier 9 ship. So that'll be super cool. You can go right here to exchange your coal, steel, and research bureau points here. So you can click that up here. So yeah, super cool event. I'm super excited for it. All the ships in here are very are a lot of fun to play. So you're not gonna be able to get everything, but it's gonna come down to what your play style is overall. But overall, this event's amazing. I'm super excited overall for this event. Moving on from the Holiday Convoy event, we have the early access to the Pan American destroyer line that just came out. This is the 20 de Julio. That was just released as well in the early access event. You can get that during this event. This line specializes in being AP only with 10-kilometer range torpedoes where they're open water with a heal, an engine boost, as well as a time consumable for the reload booster. It also has an F key that does 50% more AP damage. The AP shells are improved ricochet angles, similar to the Daring, similar that in that way. So they do a lot of damage when they pin destroyers. It has a threshold of 20 millimeters, so you're able to pin a lot of destroyers if they're broadside, or if they start to angle, then you'll definitely do a lot of damage as well. This thing specializes at being a little bit further from destroyers, but it's definitely more of a destroyer hunter. You can also farm cruisers and battleships with it. This thing overall is going to be like a higher skill level line overall. So I definitely recommend if you're looking for more of a challenge out of your destroyers, but it's definitely a lot of fun to play. So if you're looking for a more exciting open water gunboat line, then I would definitely recommend it when it comes out. Because the early access event, you are able to get a lot of the ships for free. You don't have to pay for them. But for the the tier 10 in particular, you are going to have to go down like the bundle, and all the way down it does cost 20,000. So if you want to get it early, sure, but at the same time, it's a tax free. You can just get it at another time. So there's that. Also, in this event is I'm not going to be able to say his name right, so I apologize, but you're able to get this ship, this is the secondary AP cruiser, where It has AP secondaries. They did just buff the secondaries as well to make them faster reloading. But this thing is essentially a farmer, and it has an F key gimmick on it where you're able to get longer range secondaries with it. So its base range for the secondaries are 9.5 kilometers when you build into it, of course. The concealment of 9.6 kilometers. When you have this F key active, it makes it where it boosts the range by 32%, which makes it goes up to 12.5 kilometers. So it makes the secondaries very long range, and which is really good against destroyers that try to push you or mess with you, as well as cruisers or any battleships. It does a lot of damage. It also gets a specialized repair team, so kind of similar to a Minotaur heal. So it's really good in that way. You also get Hydro or the new auxiliary and torpedo weapon coordination consumable, which I'll be talking about a little bit later. But this is the new DFA consumable essentially, because they did just rework the anti-air and CVs. So I'll be talking about that later. But essentially, this is a very good ship overall for farming. A lot of fun. Is it worth 40,000 doubloons? I don't really think so. 40,000 doubloons is about $160 US. Do I think it's worth that? No. It's a lot of money. If you have that money lying around, sure, why not? But overall, I wouldn't spend $160 on it. But it is a good ship. It is fun to play. So if you want to get it that way, sure. I definitely recommend if you want to buy it, sure, buy it. If you don't, you don't. All right, so moving on from there, let's talk about the economic change. So they added the legendary economics into this game. So as of now, if you had any of the red free XPs, you can change that now into one of these. It automatically puts them as in tokens, and you can use those tokens to get any of these legendaries. So these are higher than the reds. As you can see, there's 408% for credits, 2400 for commander, 7200 for free XP, and then ship XP is 2400. So I would definitely say try to, if you have any of those reds you had before, definitely convert those to the economic bonuses you want to use. I wouldn't recommend using them any on the ship XP. Use it on the commander credits or the free XP overall. But I normally just say to do it on the credits and the commander XP, since that's mostly what people will be needing overall. Also, there's a daily thing as well, so that's nice too. You can get stuff for free as well, so that's nice. All right, so with that out of the way, let's talk about the overall patches and stuff that were going on in this patch. Now, I did mention earlier that they were doing the Spanish commanders, right? So the Spanish commander is going to be coming in soon as well in 13 days. So there's a new unique commander for the Spanish, which is coming in, so that's going to be super cool, as well as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I'll be going over that as well, but let's just talk about this real quick. So we already went over the Holiday Convoy. We have the early access. We have the event pass. Okay, so we have the aircraft carriers and anti-air rework. So they've removed DFA from the game, and now they've changed how priority target and concentrated fire now work. So essentially, they have a built-in weaker version of DFAA now on all ships. So instead of having to sector one side or the other, now when you do sectoring, it now does it on the whole side of the ship. And now there's a new feature where any aircraft are inside your anti-range at all, anything at all, fighters, ASW, anything, it builds up a bar. Once the bar is full, you can activate a thing called concentrated anti-air fire. So it's the same button as the priority sectoring, but instead of pressing it, you hold it. Now you can't activate this when priority sector is active or when it's on cooldown. So you have to kind of time that properly, which will take a little bit to get used to. But overall, I do like the mechanic more. Essentially, what they're doing is that this and they also added a new consumable as well, which I'll go over in a moment as well. But overall, what they did is that they raised the bar of anti-air from the lowest, so now everything gets this concentrated anti-air fire. But they also made it where ships that had like really good DFAA were ones that could just instantly delete squadrons like instantly. That's not really possible as much anymore. So it is kind of sad, but at the same time, it raises the bar of all the ships overall. And when this concentrated fire is active, it does, as you can see, instantaneous damage intervals is every 5 seconds and is active for 40 seconds. This essentially means that on battleships, cruisers, and CVs, every 5 seconds, they do 3.5% of the airplane's HP. So it does break it down over time. And then for the destroyers, for every 5 seconds, they get 5% of the plane's HP. And this also goes off of the continuous, it increases the anti-air as well as the flak as well. So overall, I think this is really good for the game. I'm really happy about this mechanic. Like, yeah, it does suck that the flak does get nerfed in this, but that have DFAA, but let's just be realistic here. Most people didn't really use DFAA or build into it. So I'm glad that they did turn DFAA into more of a versatile tool, which I'm about to talk in a moment. So what they did as well as is that now they've changed DFAA to the auxiliary and torpedo weaponry coordination. So when this is active, it improves your secondary damage. It improves your reload on your torpedoes as well as your airstrike armaments. Now this includes the Dutch airstrike as well, but on the Dutch, it's slightly less, from 20% to 10%. It also makes the progress of getting the concentrated anti-air faster. So on ships that have this on or have a built-in like auxiliary, they'll get a special one as well. So ships like the Atlanta B and Flint, they have a higher instantaneous damage boost due to having the special version of the DFAA as well. So I do like, now this auxiliary torpedo weapon coordination. The reason why I like is it turns the DFAA from a only anti-air to a more versatile tool, which is really good in helping, like it makes it where it's more useful, or you can have an argument to take it from Hydro. So in some game modes, say, so Adalbert has access to this, so does the Trump as well. But the Adalbert, you can pick Hydro or this new consumable. Now in some modes, Hydro's gonna be more important, but in some other modes, this would be really good since you have a faster reload. It increases your secondary damage as well as get faster ASW reload as well. So it's really nice overall. So I like it a lot. Now, something else that they did as well is that for aircraft carriers, they have now added for the Japanese and German tech trees from tier 6 and up, that also includes the supers. It has it where they have firefighting assistance, where they can put out fires on allies. Now, this is something you can click on the M. When you click the M key, you can see the little indicator there. So that's super cool as well. So I like that a lot. As well as on the British, they have it where on the tech trees for tier 6 and above, and on the Eagle, it gets it for 2 squadrons. You are able to give your teammates a heal consumable, which is super cool. I'm glad that they're adding these team-based oriented consumables into the game. Super cool. That makes me very happy. So very cool. Now, these consumables are not invincible, so don't think they are. In certain situations, they can be shot down by anti-air. So don't just think that these things are invincible. No. If someone's in the middle of a fight, like really close brawling, and you try to use a consumable on them, they're most likely not going to get it because they're going to get shot down. So just be aware of that. We talked about the rarity system already. We have a new brawl. Oh, sorry. Also for the CVs, there was a buff to the reload time of airplanes as well. And I get why they did that. Like overall, like the percentage, like 10% faster reload for planes on most CVs. It's a slightly less version on the Russian, like Nakamov and the other Russians, or Soviets, I mean. But overall, like with how much anti-air they've increased, I can see why they did that. It isn't really that big of a difference to really complain about it. Moving on from there, we have Brawls. So Brawls is right here. The first one that starts on August 17th. Super cool, by the way. It's a really funny mode. So Sabir is going to be really good in this. Consumable cooldown is reduced by 75%. Charge-based consumable action time is doubled. Time-based consumable total usage is triple. Essentially, you're going to be doing a lot of memes. Sabir, Thor, you guys can think of any time consumable one and you'll have a fun with it. Brawl 2 starts August 25th. And it goes on from there. Teenage Mutant Turtles will be arriving on August 26th, ending on September 9th. Super cool. In the armory, like I said before, in August 26th, we have the Santiago de Cuba collection coming in. During this time as well, the hypothetical ship, the Triomphante, will be coming into the game as well. So I'll be talking about this ship as well whenever it gets closer and is off NDA, of course. But yeah, you'll be able to get that as well as the commander. There's a new recruiting station cranking it up, so you can get yourself a tier 8 container with the new shipmate, winter for a raffle. Other content as well is being added, new enemy destruction effect containers, new commanders as well with individual voiceovers, as well as other changes as well. So super cool overall. But yeah, overall, this patch is probably one of the best patches we've seen in a long time. I'm very excited about essentially everything in this patch. So let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments and what you're most excited for. But yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot to do. And yeah, I hope you guys have yourselves a lovely time. But yep, talk to you guys later. Deuces.